swing and think of everything. Snow it and blow it, a bushel of...
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we are continuing the 25 Days of Christmas horror series with what I would say is the most popular horror Christmas franchise, and that is Silent Night, Deadly Night. There are 5 installments to this. This is a first-time watch for me, not just for the original film, but for the entire series. And this is a film that when it came out was so controversial it was banned, and that creates a lot of hype. So let's get into it and see if that hype is real. Starting off with the pros of the film, I loved the aspect of the PTSD that this guy has. How fucked up he is from what he witnessed. He witnessed murder, attempted rape, all in a Santa costume. It was horrific, brutal. He had this moment with his catatonic grandfather who began to talk to him, which was a creepy and eerie scene, and it created this environment and this atmosphere for this character to be in a mental state that is so fragile and easily broken that when it finally does break, it just pours. And that movie set it up perfect, and you had a lead actor who played the part so well that when he finally flipped that switch and made that turn, he was not only evil, but he was twisted, and it was believable. And you have a weird sympathy for him because you know what he witnessed all the way up until everything happens, and even then, you can get why it's happening, and it adds a lot of depth to this movie and to that character, and it built that up with tension the entire way. Absolutely great in the way they built this movie up involving his mindset. I also like the way that this movie just starts. There's no fluff, no build-up. It just kicks the door in, guns blazing right out the gate. You're getting the grandpa scene. You're getting this eerie vibe. You're having to watch his parents get killed in an almost voyeuristic way. You feel like you are the kid watching it. It is horrific, and it does not pull any punches from the opening scene till the very last second of this film. It is guns blazing the whole time, and I loved that so much. The soundtrack for this movie, especially at the beginning, with the old kind of Christmas music, is very effective in what it's trying to do. As there's a lot of random parts where the soundtrack is kind of odd, kind of 80s, campy, but there's a lot of aspects where they do put in these old songs that fit the theme, not only musically, but lyrically to what's happening, and it really does create kind of a somber tone. And speaking of that somber tone and how dread is created in this movie, there are some instances where it is deep, dark dread happening. Like when he is in the house and the little girl goes, "Santa Claus," and you just know this crazy fuck is about to stop and turn around. And the second you hear her voice, my heart just dropped. I was like, no, fuck, like you were so close, like why? And he's been so out there at this point that it had me I was on the edge of my seat going, he might actually kill this little girl. I wouldn't be surprised if he fucking killed her. But you don't know if he's going to, and the way he starts acting it out, oh my god. The fucking dread that happened in that scene of it just building up, and the fact that there's no rhyme or reason to what he's doing, to who he's killing. Yes, he's going to eventually get to Mother Superior, but the fact that he's just going to random houses, taking out random people to punish, I like that aspect. There's no, I have to get this person because it was this, that, and it affected. Nope, he's just killing. He has the one main target, but the rest in between, sucks to suck, nerd, you're getting fucking gutted. And that brings me to some things that I didn't necessarily care for in this film, and I wouldn't say there are any glaring negatives that made me say fuck this film, but there's some parts of it where I couldn't really vibe with it too much. I mean, there's a full montage. It's almost 2 minutes of him working. Just so 80s cheese montage of 2 minutes. And that's the thing that in this film, for as quick as it got started, there's a lot of points that they do add a bunch of filler. The amount of times that they re-show the still image of a dead body over and over and over. For each person that walks in the room, they show them again. And it just kind of adds to this runtime that gets it going. And you have things like that montage that just take it on. You have these flashbacks and build-ups that are just kind of eating away at time, where I think if you got rid of those, it would make this hold even more of a punch. It wouldn't kind of build it and then drop it, and then build it and then drop it. It would just keep it redlined the entire time. And it just took away from the vibe that I was in as it was going. And the kills, for as controversial as this movie was at the time, and I get it, it was a on-par slasher movie. Maybe even subpar for the kills and the way it looked. They weren't too memorable other than the sled kill. There's none of them. I guess I shouldn't say they're not memorable. You remember the antler kill, you'll remember the sled kill, but they're not as gruesome and memorable is what I'm trying to say. They're not as heavy and gore and nasty as some that you also get. And the actors that are playing it, they're not really convincing in their deaths. They're kind of just like, they get impaled and they just, I'm dead. Or they get shot, I'm dead. There's no actual type of struggle to survive. They just kind of die, which you get to see a lot of people almost die with the ridiculous police protocol in this goddamn town. And that's almost more terrifying than the fucking killer, is that there are rogue cops in this town. They see someone climbing in a window. They don't go knock on the lady's door and say, hey, we need to go in there, there's someone going in your window. They just kick this lady's door in, sprint upstairs, guns drawn into a child's room. No questions asked. Later they say, hey, there could be a Santa on the loose. And he doesn't even, he says 2 questions, and just starts blasting this fucker in front of kids in front of a church. And then the EMS just picks the body up and he's like, I'll keep walking around. The nurse, the mother superior's like, get out of here. And he goes, all right. Turns around, draws his gun again. Fucking this town of Barney Fife motherfuckers are just running around blasting people. Dude, that was equally as scary as the fucking killer. They almost had a higher kill count than he did. It was insane. The sled scene is iconic. Obviously, I've seen that little clip of that video a million times of him jumping out. But, I mean, those bullies were like grown men. I thought that was kind of funny. They're taking on these teenagers, and one of them for sure looks 40. I have another note here, the arrow kill. Like, who the fuck has a fully functioning bow and arrow? I mean, like, an arrow with a tip on it that will kill someone in a second, because that's what it did. This actor just drops dead immediately. In a fucking toy store. That was pretty bananas, and the last note that I have, and I think this might be the most important for everybody, is there's a couple that is banging on this pool table. And I gotta say, you shouldn't even lean on your pool table because you can get it out of whack. So fucking on it, horrific idea. Have fun with that not being level. Have fun trying to replumb that. You're going to destroy that table. And that's just ridiculous. Now, is felt probably gonna feel cool on your ass and back sack? Probably. I bet it's kind of cool, but you're going to fucking unlevel that table, and the next person who tries to use it is going to be pissed. But if you like good slashers, classic slashers, some psychological stuff, I think you'll have a fun time with this. I had a fun time with this. I would rewatch it, and I know nothing about the sequels, but I will tell you I'm very excited to see the next ones, to see what they have to offer. Do they keep up this same energy? And the people who have seen it might be sitting in the comments going, oh, fuck, you're about to be very disappointed. I don't know. But I am very excited to actually check out the next one, which I didn't think I would be. I thought this would just be some overhyped thing for the time, but then you watch it and it actually has more depth. It has a lot more depth than you would think on the surface. So I'm very excited to see the others. If you like slashers, this will be a perfect one. If you like to see a bunch of ho-ho-hos getting filled with jingle balls, they have a bunch of sex scenes, so you can get your fill on that. They have no problem showing that over and over and over. So guys, let me know down below, what do you think? Did you see this back in the day? Have you ever seen it? Do you like the series, hate the series? What should I expect? Put it all down below. Like, comment, subscribe. That way you can be up to date whenever I drop new videos, because we got the rest of this series to come. Thank you guys for the love and support. Peace.
Take a breath, take a breath, take a breath, take a breath, take a breath,